Aloha, Lulu here, your Chief Officer of Bliss, coming in live from the beautiful island of Maui. How's everyone doing today? So today I was inspired to talk a little bit about stress management in our Swell 360 program and in our 30 Days to Healthy Living. We've been talking about stress because it can have such a negative impact on your sleep, on your metabolism, on your overall well-being. So I wanted to share a story about a dear friend of mine that I know who did give me permission to share this story. So she is a fabulous woman, and she was vibrating on a super high level, practicing yoga, eating well, meditating, surfing on a daily basis, overall staying super active and making plenty of time for distressing. And her favorite distressors being yoga nidra and restorative yoga. Sorry guys, I had to change scenery because it was so damn windy out there that it was knocking over my equipment and everything. So anyway, bear with me. Anyway, my point being that my dear friend was absolutely thriving and living her bliss. Amazing, right? But then one day she received the call from the doctor that informed her that her mom fell and broke her hip. And suddenly she was in the middle of a major stress overload. Now imagine this woman runs her own business, she travels around the world, her dad has dementia, she also has priorities on that. So to get this news that her mom fell and that she would have to become her number one caretaker was highly stressful. Although, she's made it very clear that she wanted to step up to the plate and become the number one caretaker. So don't get me wrong on that. But it triggered a lot of stress. And in all of this, the one thing that happened was that she ended up abandoning all of her self-care practices, everything that kept her balanced, whole, and healthy. She ended up abandoning them. So you can imagine things that started to happen were that she would have this inexplicable weight gain, even though she wasn't barely eating. And things like losing her patience, not being able to sleep. She had so many side effects from not doing the things to take care of herself and manage her stress that she literally was falling apart. So friends, it's super tempting to think that you can just walk it off or that your stress is just going to magically disappear. But your hormones are powerful and they have the ability to make havoc in your body and cause a complete disruption in your system, which is why our bliss care routines are so incredibly important. The outcome of my friend was that she went into chronic stress. And if you haven't guessed, that friend was me. Which is why I've been giggling a little bit, because I felt it would be easier to talk about me in the third person than to be just completely open and honest that I had a complete breakdown. And so, talking about stress, I can't even begin to express the importance of your bliss care routines. Whew, just getting a little flashback of this whole scenario has made me a little emotional. But the whole point being that after a couple of weeks, which seemed like a freaking eternity, like a never-ending cycle from hell, I was kindly reminded from a dear friend of mine, true story, to take care of myself, to become my number one priority. Not my mom, not my dad, not my career, me. I had to make myself my number one priority because that was the only way I was going to, one, thrive in a scenario like this. Number two, to show up as my best self, to be able to take care of my mom. Now, please share it down in the comments below if you've experienced this before, where you've lost complete control, your stress is high, and you feel like you're falling apart at the seams. I'd love to hear your comments. So in summary, I wanted to share the top 3 things that really saved my life. Number 1, I got back into my meditation practice. This was vitally important and something that I've cultivated over time, a long time. And why we abandon those practices that keep us healthy so quickly when they're the one thing that can keep us healthy is beyond me. But I started up my meditation practice and things quickly started to improve, which is what inspired me to create a blog post to share with you all. I'm going to include a link down below. And that blog post, it's basically sharing 5 simple ways that you can start a meditation practice right now that I promise it is a game changer. I encourage you to give it a shot because of all the things that keep me sane and keep me healthy. I swear my meditation practice is the one thing. It's the game changer. The second thing that saved my ass, literally, was providing myself with the nutrition I needed to be able to sustain my energy levels in order to show up as my best self and take care of my mom and dad. So, and that's what has inspired 30 Days to Healthy Living. I know that so many people right now, because of this pandemic and because of other things that are happening, you are suffering and your health is being highly compromised, and we are living in a super, super stressful environment. And I can't stress enough that 30 Days to Healthy Living is going to help you. It's free, okay? And another wellness coach and myself will take you through the entire program, providing you guidance, support, and everything you need to be wildly successful and to walk away creating some pretty freaking amazing habits that are going to keep you whole and healthy through pretty much anything. And the third thing that literally saved my butt was sleep. Now, I don't know if you know this, but stress and sleep do not make good companions. In fact, over the course of 4.5 months, my sleep patterns were so negatively impacted that I literally wasn't sleeping. And I'm the type of person that does not function without sleep. So that, and knowing that there are so many people out there right now whose sleep patterns have been disrupted because of this pandemic, I know you're suffering. So it inspired me the other night to put together a little email educational series. I'll put a little link down below so you can register. I created this to not only educate you on the importance of sleep, but to also encourage you, so I provide some tips in there, to cultivate some routines about setting yourself up for a good night's sleep. So I encourage you to download that. So in summary, the truth is that we cannot show up for others in our best capacity unless we make ourselves the #1 priority. There are no exceptions. If you are not doing things to take care of yourself, if you don't have some bliss care practices in place to help you manage the current stress levels that you have, because I don't know a single soul right now who's not experiencing higher stress levels than normal, then you're eventually going to have a breakdown. So I encourage you to take inspired action. Make health your priority. Go ahead and download my tools, go read my blog, sign up for our 30 Days to Healthy Living, which by the way the next one we're in one right now, which is going phenomenally. We're on day 4. But the next one's going to start on September 1st. But I'll give you a link a link down below, and then you can sign up and start getting ready and get stoked out. I hope these free tools inspire you. I hope that you take inspired action to make health your #1 priority. I'm sending you bliss. Aloha.